Hello. We have I don't know actually which day it is. Let me think. I flew on the 18th to, it's the 20th of May 2026. And I'm sitting at this really beautiful place and just giving my pain right now into the earth because I have some cramps in my belly because I got my period. And there's actually one thing good that I saw you. I think I have to check myself when I come home if I have some ticks on my body. Since I think half a year it's actually started that I used to get cramps again on the day where I get my period. And normally I would never have cramps, or only very tiny little bit where it's not bothering me at all. But now I have it like for a few hours that I basically just have to chill and be at ease with myself, and the more I relax, the better it gets. So I think the main message behind it is to relax. And I love how the sun is affecting already my skin. It's really good. I really have to be careful also because now summer is really also in Portugal, and yesterday was still good because the sun was covered by the clouds most of the day, but today it's blue sky, as you can see. It's pretty hot in the sun, so I have to get used to it again. Another thing I find very interesting is that I feel suddenly so guided to do more videos, and on purpose I did not take my equipment because I thought, no, I just gonna relax. But now suddenly I feel so guided, and I think it's just showing me again I don't need special things or something. I can just sit down, take my phone, find a nice angle, and then just talk. But yeah, I recorded a nice meditation yesterday. I would really appreciate when you check it out and leave me a feedback when you try the meditation. It was not something I did, not something I had planned. I was just arriving at a really beautiful garden. My aunt told me it's called the hippie way, so I don't know, but it looked like it a bit. And I was just walking around in the garden. I suddenly had the guidance to just take a video, and while I was taking the video I felt like, oh, this could be actually a really nice moment for other people to just calm down a bit and relax. So I continued with the video, and then I was like, wait, it's actually a nice way to meditate, but not by closing your eyes, but as by seeing this place and listening to my voice. And if you feel now resonance and excited to watch it, obviously you can also close your eyes if you feel like it. I started to speak a bit in light language and was singing in the video. And I'm also very curious what people reflect. Like, if you do it, really please give me a feedback, what you experience, because there were so many different doors and layers, and I felt like the presence of so many people and beings there, which I feel will listen to it. And it can also maybe be just in 5 years or something like this, but there was a presence of, I would say, at least 4 people where I don't know how to say the sentence. I felt like I was doing this meditation for at least 4 people out there who kind of really feel they need that. If you want to say, it felt like a contract, and I'm just really happy when this video will reach those people. And what I felt is like there were so many layers open because every person is experiencing something different there. But the main intention that I felt in that meditation is to kind of drop the heaviness and feel the lightness in yourself again. Yeah, what else do I want to talk about? I witnessed yesterday again that I can definitely still train myself or grow to be gentle on myself, because yesterday I felt some kind of heaviness, and my head was like running and running. I was like, what are we doing here? And why did you go out of your comfort zone, leave your home where you know every little corner and know how to react and know how things, and that's always, and I think many people can resonate with it, when we arrive at a new place we need some time to adjust, obviously, to arrive. And the last 2 nights, I also, when I closed my eyes, I was like just called to go, oh, I really have to check myself, there's so many ticks here. Where was I? I was closing my eyes and was directly seeing a really big, huge, I think an oak tree or something like this, which was just inviting me to lean on it so I can put my roots here. And today it feels much better already. And I feel also it was a really good decision to go to Portugal, even though there were many doubts. And still I don't really, maybe I know a few parts why I'm here. I would say actually there's coming more clarity. There's one pattern, one blockage in a relationship that has some last little pieces that wants to be shaken off, I think. And the second part is just to, the people that I met here and that I will revisit again and reconnect with, they understand me on a different level than I have the people around me at home. And I think a part of me just wants to have that energy for a short time and reconnect with it, because it gives me different perspectives. It helps me to see things from a higher plane, from a more overview perspective. And it's funny because every time I connect with those people, I feel how much I miss that connection, that exchange in words and energy and expression. It's funny because I kind of find a way of talking with people depending on in which kind of environment I am. And when I'm talking to those people, it's so different that I have to kind of get used to it again. I was like, oh wow, I missed so much talking like this and talking about it like this. And I think that's the second part where a lot of things come with it, because I think out of that exchange I can get much more clarity for my continuously for my path that I'm continuing. I don't know what's going on with my English. But my cramps are getting better while I'm talking. Right now I feel a lot of gratitude, because I'm allowed to go such a beautiful and soft way. And it was so beautiful. I was taking care of my cousin today. He's I think almost 4 months now. And I was walking around with him. We were looking for a short time at the goats. And then he was falling asleep, and I was just sitting there with him an hour, watching him and going with him to different places and helping him to ground a bit into his body. And I have this thing often going on where I can feel the presence of connecting on higher levels with people, but my mind, or I cannot really translate it yet into my mind, and I cannot really understand what is happening. And there was a time where I was frustrated about it because I thought it's important to bring it down, but now I understand I'm doing my work anyway, and as soon as my nervous system can handle that kind of frequency that this information is holding, then I will understand things also more. But it was what I actually just want to say. It was so nice to be with his presence, and the more we were like with each other, I really had him close to my body. I could feel how we were regulating each other, and how we were calming more and more and grounding ourselves more and more. And my heart suddenly was so vibrant, it's this kind of tingling, vibrating energy suddenly everywhere. And I was like, oh wow, I could also just go now. And I noticed we don't have, or at least from my perspective, you don't have to do much for the children to feel good. Or whatever way you want your children to feel, you have to look inside yourself and to regulate yourself first, to find that energy, to find that frequency you want to be in, you want that child to be in, and then your child is adjusting to it. And if your child starts to scream, to be angry, to show any kind of emotion, it's most of the time just mirroring ourselves. And because over all these years we got so disconnected from ourselves, we don't even notice that. And even if we start to look at it, first we most of the time don't even really see it. And that's another thing. I feel so guided now to work with autistic children, and they're not so connected to the physical body, but they're very connected to the emotional body. So they're constantly just mirroring what's happening in their environment, especially in the family and the people they're close to. And I believe this is not only with autistic children. I think it's with every newborn child that's still very open to everything, and hasn't discovered yet himself as an individual. They're just mirroring everything that's around them. And the more calm you are and aware about your emotions and how to give yourself a safe space, and how much you your own feel safe in your body, the more your child can arrive in this world, can anchor in their light body, and feel safe in this world, and feel calm. And it was so beautiful, and what kind of energy we dropped together. It's like more and more like, it was so beautiful just to watch him. And for a while now, when I'm watching films and they're about getting a child, about motherhood, or also finding your big love, I start to burst out and cry so much. Because there's a longing inside of me awakening more and more. And it's not that I want to have a child right now. I know that I will get some children, and I know these children, and I can feel their presence already all the time. Not all the time, but most of the time. And let's see what the next steps will bring. Also with like going back maybe to my parents' place, right now it really feels Portugal is more helping me to help me to let go of all these things that still hold me back from anchoring myself into something. I feel like this is videos going far too long into many topics, but I just continuously sharing what's coming. because it's still there. Right now I'm switching more to one side, but there are two sides in myself, especially in my head, which until now in my head are separated. I cannot make them into one, even though I know and I feel these things can go hand in hand. But in my head, it's like these two parts. The one part that wants to be living just the wild 20s, if you want to say. I'm 24 now. The wild 20s, going on adventures, meeting different kind of people, and just going crazy. I don't have to have any big responsibilities. I can just go when I don't feel it, and I don't have to push myself into anything. Just being a little bit lost walking around, having this freedom. And the other part loves to take responsibility and to start building my own thing. And it feels like when I'm really settling down myself somewhere, which feels like at my parents' place where I grew up at the moment, which feels like it is the place where I grew up. In my head it feels, or there are the thoughts of like, if I'm doing that, I don't have the freedom anymore. I cannot just, obviously I can, but then I will never really build something up. So I know if I say to myself, okay, I'm gonna stay there now for 2 years and really start focusing on all the things that I want to build up, and I have now the possibility because I said I be there, present, fully present, then I don't have the freedom anymore, to just go if I suddenly don't feel like it or whatever. And in my head, it's like, if I do that, I will never have the freedom again. And I think that's something that is programmed very deeply in us, because if you look into society, I remember this quote, oh, you should go traveling still now after school and in your 20s, because the moment you get children, have a family, or get older, you never will have the opportunity again. And obviously, of course, we are in a different age and in a completely different state of life, but I still trust and know that it's possible. Obviously, it will look a different way, but it's still possible. And now what I feel, and what is not really coming from here, it's really a voice speaking out of my belly, is that when I would actually take that path of settling myself down, I would suddenly feel and experience so much freedom like I never experienced before. And this is this thing, like, if we don't go into okay, I would like you to imagine, like, there are different seas, there are different ponds, there are different water areas, and if you really want to understand what's there for you in the water, you have to go in completely. If you're just staying around on the land and looking into it, or putting your big toe into it, you will never really experience what is there for you. And I think as humans, or let me speak for myself, for me as a human, I feel in my head, it feels like when I drop into one of these waters, I can never get out of it again. I have to stay in there for my whole life, which basically is just not true. Now, speaking again from my belly, I actually don't know what's really coming from there, but I just know that it's possible to experience something very deeply, but it's by going 100% into it, knowing, okay, I have to go into something with 100%, and for this 100%, I have to create an illusion in my mind that this is going to be forever, or for a long time, or for whatever, because then I create a structure for me where I can jump into the structure, into this box I'm creating, and there I can completely go wild, and I can put my energy. I'm a manifesting generator. I have a lot of energy, but as long as my energy is not directed into something, I'm losing energy. And when I'm creating these structures, I can go on and go on and go on. And obviously these boxes, these structures, they need to have they have to inspire me. They have to come from myself. They have to enlighten my heart. I cannot go into boxes that are created by somebody else. And that's so funny. That's connected to something I noticed yesterday. Because I was for 6 years now, since I dropped out of school, I was fighting so much for my freedom and not having to go into any kind of these boxes and just going day by day and not knowing what's coming next. And I said that yesterday to a friend. One part of me loves that. One part of me loves to go to adventures and to break out of every structure that is there. And another part of me needs that structure so much. So, and this is an individual path, that's just how I understand myself more, how I am structured in this human experience, in this human body, that what my body needs to generate energy and to feel good is to create a structure where I can experience adventures and freedom. And so I was like fighting so much for this, and I had that now, this kind of freedom, and like could go wherever I wanted to go. And at the end I ended up again at my parents' place, and I was actually not that happy at all. So maybe and I think I said it many times already, but maybe it's time to experience the other pond, and there's this fear again, if I'm dropping in there, I will never get out again. And this is the conversations between the heart, the belly, and the mind, and the guidance from above. But I truly feel I am going, or I was guided to come here to Portugal to find the clarity for that. And when I'm just thinking about it, imagining myself being there and really can start my own thing, it gives me so much. And like I said, maybe I can find my freedom while I'm doing that. And seeing this is actually all the time the adventure and the freedom I was looking for. Well, that was a nice sharing. I really, really love this background. That would have been a really nice spot for a podcast as well, but I think it was kind of a podcast now. I hope you could take something out of it. Let me know how you like this kind of way of just spontaneously sitting down and talking. This again gives me some freedom, because before how I did before the podcast, also then in Germany, or in Germany, there was some kind of pressure I made myself, like, okay, now I have to sit down again. And it was nice to have this kind of equipment, but I feel actually much more at ease when I don't have this equipment. So maybe that's also why I was guided to go just with my phone. So thank you very much for being with me on this journey. There's the constant information, but I think for now it's okay. Well, the rest I will process on my own. Okay, much love, and see you soon. Bye bye.